Oh, we are live. It is Tuesday. Like, I know the answer to this. I have to excuse my battle scars on my hands at the moment. The kitten has tiny little needle nails, and they are not afraid to use them. So, at least the finger thingies will cover them. So I know it's been a minute since we've been back on this, because I think we had to cancel last time because of weather, maybe. Or no, we were running errands, I think that's why. So we're back to working on this. This is gonna be a 5x5 little wall hanging guy. When we're done, we'll eventually mount it, try to build a little frame around it. And I've got some like rustic jute that we can use to make a little hangy bit for it. Or I'm sure you could probably just glue like a little tiny alligator, not alligator, like the little sawtooth hanger. Like seeing the little jagged thingies on the back of the wood thing to maybe try to hang it that way, but we'll just do the little jute pieces because that'll just be better for everybody. I'm not sure I'm gonna attach it so it's not like super weird on the back. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I might have to put like a bar over where it's going to be attached on the back. Um, I was gonna say maybe we can put it under this, but then that's going to be really hard to put this over top of it. So I don't know. We might just have to have it visible on the back. Alright, so when we last left off, we were working on this varsity gold color. I rehung all of the fluff we were using, and now I don't remember what all shades I picked out. I had a bunch out, so that's fun. I guess we'll just figure it out, right? First things first, though, let's get our varsity color in here. Now I do have some thinner sections here where it kind of looks like the gray is kind of hanging out there, and I do want to fill those in, but I think I want to get the rest of it filled in. That's one thing we were struggling with last time, was how much of this we were putting in. Because our dark gray just did not want to cooperate. But you know, we'll figure it out. We usually do. just gonna take a little bit longer to work our way through it, that's all. So it is Tuesday. I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. I finished the last speed needle felt that I technically owed you guys. So all of the season 3 Bob Ross needle felts, all of those speed felts have been completed. I didn't plan on doing any for the magnets because those were just 2 sessions each, so I didn't really feel like we needed to condense that down very much. Just didn't really feel like that was necessary. This one we might end up doing a speed felt on, but it's going to be some time before I can get to it, so I might not. Because I have just started the editing process on the tissue paper project. That's going to be a doozy to edit. I have only made it through one video or one recording entirely, and that was like an hour. I am just starting video recording number 2. There's a ton of video. I think the second video I recorded was like 2 hours. I kept like trying to break it up into smaller chunks, so that way it felt like I was accomplishing something, because when the video gets to be too long and I'm editing the same video for what feels like forever, I get bored and I get discouraged because I just feel like I'm trudging through molasses on it. So my brain needs the little cookie of feeling like, yeah, we accomplished this video edit. We got this one done. We got this one done. So if I can break it up into smaller chunks, it makes my brain a little bit easier to deal with. I'm not completely done that yet. I'm working on it. We will see how things go. But we still have a good ways to go on that. Well, no, we have a good ways to go on the editing, but the project itself, I'm almost done one of the trees entirely. I don't know if I'll be able to finish one of those trees this weekend. It kind of depends on the kitten that we are fostering. And if they are going to be out in general population with everybody else. We had them out running loose for a little bit today, trying to get them used to the dogs and the other cats. Spicy Beans was very infatuated with Cow, I think because they were similar, like black to them. I don't know, they wanted to play with Cow, and Cow was like, nah, get it away from me. They didn't seem to care too much about Ed. The dogs they're still very uncertain about, but I think towards the end of their time out today, they were trying to stalk Zuzu and trying to chase him because they were doing the little butt wiggles, and I'm like, oh no, if he actually pounces Zuzu's gonna flip out. Like, not like angry flip out, but like get nervous. and not understand that Kitten is playing. Because he's a nervous pupper. Snuffles didn't seem too bothered when she got pounced. But Snuffles also has a lot thicker fur than Zuzu, so that might also play a factor. He's like so excited to see the new fuzzy thing, and then we put the new fuzzy thing down, and then he's like, oh god, what do I do with it? And then he gets upset when it plays with him, so I'm like, dude, what did you think was gonna happen? It's just a little baby. Little didn't seem to care. Kibut's not real thrilled. But, all in all, it wasn't a total disaster, earlier, but, husband was, like, setting up a spot on his desk for Spicy Beans to chill out on, where they could observe everybody. And so he could get some stuff done, and, Beans was like, what's this? New things to explore? And, yeah, they're like, I'm not sitting still. What is this sitting still stuff? So it ended up with us taking turns following them around the house to make sure they didn't get into too much trouble. Because I don't think the house is entirely kitten-proof. And I keep losing them when I don't have my glasses on. If they lay in front of something that's black in the mother-in-law's room, I can't see them. I started to panic earlier this morning because I thought I lost the kitten. I'm like, how do I lose the kitten? They're in the room with me. And they weren't making any noise. And I'm standing there frantically looking for them, yelling their name. And all of a sudden I looked down because the movement caught my eye, and they were right in front of this black piece of furniture. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, you've been there the whole time? And they're just sitting there looking at me like I'm the dumb one. And I'm just like, okay. Trying to not have this sitting in the center of the pad, because I want to change up the areas that I'm stabbing into, just so our pad gets a bit more even wear to it. We are adding some bonus RimWorld streams in. The first one we did was on Friday night. I'm not sure if it's always going to be Friday night. It kind of depends on our schedule and what we've got going on. It's not something I'm going to actually add to the channel schedule right now. Just because we're busy with the kitten. And life. So it will be a surprise bonus stream. And make sure that you do check out this paintbrush. It's the second time I've knocked the same paintbrush out of that container today. Do make sure that if you have followed the YouTube channel where we archive the live streams, and we have some other series that we haven't streamed that were for strictly exclusive to the channel over there, make sure that you do subscribe. It's the same as follow here, and that you click the little bell and turn your notifications to all, because it defaults to personalized. So you might not be getting the notification that something got posted. Because it's really weird how the videos are performing. Like some of the Honey, I Joined a Cult videos, I'll get one that will just explode, and then the one that comes out the next day, it'll get like 1 view, maybe 2. And I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense. And I was trying very hard to make sure I didn't start cursing too soon. Maybe I cursed early in that one and didn't remember doing so. I tried not to, but for some reason, not like, some videos will do ridiculously well with views on it, and then others just not. And I'm like, but why? Did it not get sent out? Did people not get notified? Like, what is happening here? So I don't really know what the heck's going on there. Oh, wait, brushing the wrong way. I'm like, why is the blue on the bottom? There. So I am just working in some smaller chunks here. Kind of like to work in the smaller chunks. And I had just put just a drop of water on my palm, a drop. You don't need much when you're trying to shape your fluff. And I like to personally roll it in the little fluffy snakes before I start adding them in. You don't have to. You can just kind of lay it down on there. And just kind of go for it. But sometimes when I do the fluffy snakes, I find that I don't have to, I don't always have to put as many layers of it down to get it to the coverage that I'm looking for. Now on this one I am having to add a little bit more than I thought I would, just because of the dark base color that I use. That's on me. But it was kind of what was next in line here, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess we'll grab this one. As soon as we get that tissue paper project done, we are going to be rearranging some furniture in here. We're going to be flipping the desk. I need to get a twin sheet so we can have a background up behind us. Because I won't need camera number 2 for the project any longer. Do know that my face is always red though, so, and I'm not wearing makeup. I don't have time for that. I hate the feeling of makeup on me anyway. Only wear it when I absolutely have to. Now, do be aware that if we do end up moving out of state, I'm going to need to be going back to work outside of the house. So we'll have to figure out a stream time for when I'm available. Don't know when that's going to be that yet though, so we don't really have to worry about that too much at the moment. Excuse me. All right, now I'm just kind of trying to fill in everybody, and then I'll come back in and see about filling in our gaps here and our thin spots. Not really gaps, I guess. I suppose thin spot is a little bit better of a descriptor. So this is bigger than the magnets. The magnets were this size. The magnets were 3 by 3, so it's a good bit bigger. 5 by 5. And I'm not really in a super hurry with this because I don't need to do anything for the mother-in-law or her sister for Christmas this year. Husband's like, no, don't. He's like, it's not worth your time. I'm like, but I feel bad about not doing it. He's like, no, don't. I'm like, okay. I'd have to figure out what I'm gonna do for my mom, though. That, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Who was it that, like, had, like, the 4 squared pictures where it was, like, the same image that repeated but in different shades? Was that Warhol? Maybe I could do, like, a chicken in that style? I don't know if I can, though. I need to look at that. That might be interesting. I can't give her a steampunk chicken, though, because it's not really steampunk, but I don't think she would understand it. I don't think a chicken would look right with that anyway. That feels more like sea creature kind of deal anyhow. Oh, so yeah, so see like this little curvy bit here, I'm gonna have to add some more to that. Now I will end up losing a little bit on the edges as we go. Like when we finish, like when I trim it up to make it fit the block. Like its little mounting area. Here. The ants here are so bad this summer. I don't know where they're getting in from. But this is getting ridiculous. So that section filled in pretty good, but now I've got like a thin spot here. It really depends on like how fussy you want to be about that undercolor shining through. If it doesn't bother you, then, you know, whatever. My brain won't let it go though, so y'all are gonna have to join me on this crazy ride. Or don't. I mean, you're free to leave. It's not like I can keep you here. That would be false imprisonment. Okay. Get this guy. Now, I've got this separation in here because we're going to have some cloud coming into there. And that's not what we want to, like, we don't need to fill that in, right? So it's going to get covered up. Like, entirely with another color right there, so... You don't have to do this stage of, brushing it down on the back. I'm probably gonna end up using more of this color than I really need to. If I'd gone with a lighter base felt, I probably wouldn't have to fuss quite so much with filling in thinner spots or sections where it just seems like that base color is just shining through quite so much. If I go with a lighter color, it probably would have been a little bit better. But this was the next bit of felt in line in my pile of felt that needed to be used. So here we are. Okay. We'll probably try to get my mom a latch hook rug for her birthday. There's not a whole lot of chicken and rooster ones though. Now there is a place that you can like do a custom pattern, like with uploading a photo and stuff, but you can't You can't really get the yarn from them anymore. So you kind of have to pick the yarn colors out yourself, I guess. All right. So, see if I can get this tucked into the edge here. Now there is a little bit of yellow up in that corner, but I'm not sure what shade of yellow it really is. It's like the palest of yellow. But it also looks like there's a slight hint of palest of pink in there with it. Not sure what I really want to do with that just yet. It's been so loud lately. I don't think it came through on the microphone this time, but we've had so many people, even in the rain yesterday, somebody was driving their stereo cranked. Like, our walls were vibrating with their windows rolled down. Our house is completely shut up. And I'm like, really? Is this necessary? It's raining. You've got rain coming into your car. It just makes you look dumb. Alright. Alright, so I need a little bit more in here. And I mean, there's going to be a little bit more color coming in, but I'd rather get my thin spots kind of handled ahead of time. Because I'm not sure where exactly the other colors are going to be placed. And like I said, I'm not in a hurry. I have to make the husband's Christmas present, and we're not going away in November at all now. Like, we were supposed to, and crunching numbers and crunching numbers and crunching numbers, and it's like, no. That's just not gonna happen. So we're gonna try to push it back to the end of April, beginning of May. To try to catch my aunt, one of my mom's sisters, before she heads back up to New Jersey. Okay, yeah, because she wants to see my brother too, and I was like, well, why don't we just go to New Jersey? I mean, that would be a 3-day drive there. Or shore, because day one we would end up sleeping somewhere in Tennessee. Probably around Jackson, Tennessee is where we tend to stop. Night 2 would end up being somewhere in Virginia. But then she won't get to see my brother. If we do that, unless my brother comes up to Jersey and I don't know that he would. I mean, it would allow us, well, no, we'd have to wait till summer, really. So it would allow us to go and dick around at the boardwalk and the zoo, but we'd have to wait till after Memorial Day for when stuff is actually open on the Ocean City boardwalk. Ocean City, New Jersey, to be clear. I know there's an Ocean City, Maryland, but we're talking Ocean City, New Jersey. Oh, then we could stop in. Could get our recon trip done then. I don't know though. So let's see where, oh, we still need some filler here. For sure. Because it's going to be easier to just make sure that I have this filled in to my liking with the first color, not knowing where the first color is going to sit. So that way the other colors are layering up on top of it. It'll just look better. To me, at least. Alrighty. Alright, so we need a little bit more in here. I've got so much fluff I need to add to my bags. And I need to find a home for all the tissue paper. The tissue paper might go in one of the yarn boxes, just so I can get to it. I've got like 2 sets of those plastic drawers. They're kind of sitting on top of each other, but they've kind of warped and don't want to open now. Like the ones at the bottom. So the very bottom drawer, I don't have anything in. And then the next drawer down has like my tissue paper stuff. And I can't really access that drawer very well. Still have to figure out what I'm gonna do for my mom. Russell's getting a critter. As is tradition. I just need to look up how to photos of it so I can figure it out. I don't think it'll be too bad. It should be pretty simple for what I want to do. Okay. So you can see where it's thicker and thinner in spots back here. Okay, so what do we still need to fill in here? We're still a little thin in here. We're still a little thin in there. Now you don't have to do the whole water and the shaping bit. You can just like lay a chunk down and just kind of stab it into place if you so choose. But that might require a few more layers. Kind of just depends. Just kind of depends on what you prefer and how you feel about it. And I feel like it takes maybe another few moments longer doing it that way. You're trying to find all the loose bits. But it's not terrible. Let's see, how are we looking? Alright, this is a problem for me. Let's see if I can like double layer that up. See how we do covering up that guy. Now I'm using a size small needle, size S. I showed you guys the tube of needles that came with my kit, so all I can tell you is size S. I don't know. I don't remember seeing any paperwork that had a number to coincide with the S. All I know is that it said S. I need another little bit right in there. So I'm not really sure if the coverage is any better doing it the non-fluffy snake way. I mean, it might help fill in a little bit, but I will still be partial to my fluffy snakes. I mean, you can still kind of see the shadowy bits in there where we still need a bit more fluff. I mean, you can like layer it up on itself a bit. If you so choose. Okay. We're getting there on this color. Ever so slowly. Not quite done jabbing that bit in there, but I felt like I was becoming a little too jabbed in there. So we might move Little Known Galaxy to record. I really wanted to stream it, but I don't have enough time to stream all of the things that I want to stream, so some of it's gonna need to get recorded for the channel. I mean, it's that or I start just record painting. Is that you?
Yeah, sorry.
You okay?
Yep.
Don't forget to check in. Well, that's where the kitten got me. I knew they had gotten me somewhere else and I couldn't find it. That's a little loose over there. Alright, we'll probably say that's good. After we get this one worked into here. Alright. So, how's everybody's summer going? Anybody up to anything fun? We're not doing anything this summer at all. Well, I'm trying to get to the farmer's market. We didn't go last weekend because of the weather. We were thinking of trying this weekend. The kitten has to be at the cat clinic at 11:30, I think. That still seems a little bit thin in there, doesn't it? Although the last time we packed up early, I think we left at like 11 or like 10:30 we started packing up because we were hot and I had like rehomed most of the stuff anyway. So like what was left was you know, stuff that was picked over and we're just like, it's much too hot for this. So I might bring my flamingo umbrella. For some shade this time. Because we don't have a shade canopy to sit under. They were a little expensive at the time we were looking at them for using it like one day out of the year. So I was like, I don't know that I can justify the cost of that. It's not like we go tailgating or camping or anything. I'm an indoorsy kind of girl. So I couldn't really justify spending the money on it. Like I know a lot of people here are into their sports and they tailgate, so they have the little pop-up guys and they had the money to invest in them. If I had more stuff to take, then maybe I could justify the price of that. Still very much. Okay. Let's see how we do with that. Oh. Let me that put into its bag. Oh, this bag needs to be replaced so bad. See, I have like this, like, cotton candy yellow. This bag has seen better days. That's for sure. Can I get you? You got a little knotted. Like you didn't fully get brushed out. Like, I don't want to get rid of the whole bit here, because I feel like we can still use some of it. What's this color called? Banana cream. It's kind of, yeah, it is kind of like a yellowy tinted white, isn't it? No. Okay. So we've got a little bit of this yellow kind of hanging out up here. A little nervous it's gonna look a little green. But we'll see. Yeah, like once we get it jabbed it in on itself, it starts to pick back up a bit with its yellowness. We can kind of see that. Camera kind of sees it, so that's good. Okay. Get a little bit more of this. So much fluff to refill. Crazy. It's been a while because I've been preoccupied with working on the other project, so I've either been working on the other project or editing. Maybe tonight we take a night off from editing. And work on some fluff. I have to dig the fluff out though, which is why I was kind of hoping to wait to work on that. Right, how far over do I want the yellow to kind of come hang out in? That is the question of the moment. Kinda. Let's see. Where's the boat gonna sit? Boat's gonna kind of start here, maybe. Come over to maybe here. Mast is gonna come up to about here. How about to about there? Like, I don't want this to overtake the blue. I just kind of want the suggestion. Like, I want hints of it there. I just don't want it to be solidly chunked in. Alright, so let's see. So I am doing a little bit thin with this, kind of wispy like a cloud. And this color is very hard to see when I've got it stretched out, but once we start tapping it in here, it should start to build up on top of itself. And that should be a little bit more visible. Okay. So there's also like the faintest hint of like a pinky kind of color. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this, what is it? Orange peach, peach orange color. I'm not sure which one's correct. I could look it up. Because I didn't realize I had 2 bags of the same color because I flipped the letters, flipped the words around. I was staring at them as I was hanging the color bags up, and I'm like, these colors look identical. And with a little bit more investigation, Oh, they are. Derpy Doodle strikes again. Uh, I actually kind of like that on top of the blue there. Just a slight suggestion of it being there. So I'm using acrylic yarn for anybody that's new around here. I do have a small amount of roving from like a bag of mixed colors that I had bought when I was just getting started to see if I wanted to keep doing this or if it was just a passing interest. Because, you know, sometimes there's stuff that you're like, ooh, that looks interesting. And then you start doing it and you're like, oh, yeah, no, I don't like this. I'll watch it, but I don't want to do it, you know, kind of thing. But, so I'd gotten this like multi-pack of colors and the roving that came in the kit was like an embroidery floss bag's worth, and it was all sorts of shades of colors, but it wasn't a whole lot of color. And if I ran out of a color, I was kind of screwed because I didn't have a way to reorder that color. It's just kind of like what they send you is what they send you, and I would have like multiple shades of red, like multiple bags of red. They weren't all the same shade, they were just slightly off of each other, and I was like, okay. Right. Which, you know, is fine if you're doing smaller little projects. At the time I was not. So I was like, well, that doesn't really help me. And I had read that you could do this with acrylic yarn. And while you'll still have dye lot to think about, depending on the size of your project, you're less likely to have a dye lot issue unless you're getting near to the end of your skein of yarn, in which case I would suggest just buying a new skein of that color and comparing if the shades are off when you look at them. Because I've seen drastic differences in dye lots before. Like night and day of people that like ran out of what they needed for a blanket because they didn't overbuy, and we didn't have any more of the dye lot. So that sucked. So it's like, at the time, the store I worked at didn't have a time limit on a return. They just had to have the receipt. So it was like, it's okay, just overbuy it. Buy way more than you think you're gonna need if all of it's the same dye lot. So there would be so many mad crocheters and knitters, and they're like, no! Like, I didn't think the dye lot would be that drastic. Like, yeah. And we're talking like drastic dye lot color on ecru. Like, it was like, oh my god. Ecru was like a cream color. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it when the order comes in, but when you hold it up to one that somebody bought like a month or two ago, yeah. And then I'd be like, can you see if another store has it? And it's like, I don't have time to sit on the phone all day. You can go see if another store has it. I can give you their phone numbers. If we weren't super busy, we would try. But it was tough at times to try to get the time to make those calls. Like, I would suggest just ordering, because we did special orders. And at the time, we didn't have to take deposits on it. I'd just be like, order it. Order more than you think you're gonna need. You have to buy it all when you come to pick it up, though. We can't store it for you, but hold on to your receipt. And whatever you don't end up using, you can return. I was kind of surprised there wasn't like a 30-day time limit on stuff. There was stuff that we had long since discontinued that people were returning, but they had the receipt. So it's like, I'm like, we don't have a time limit on this? And they're like, no, as long as they have the receipt. I'm like, okay. I guess. Alright. So I'm just trying to slowly build up this color, because I don't want it to get too carried away here. Now, I used to work for AC Moore. They have long since gone out of business. When did they go out of business? Was it 2020? 2021? It was a few years ago. I can't remember when I stopped working there. It was probably like maybe 15 years ago. I worked for them for a total of, oh gosh, let's say maybe 6 years, 6.5 years. And was still making under $10. Which was just gross for the amount of stuff I was doing. I'd come in extra a lot, I'd do this, I'd do that. I mean, it was kind of wrong. And I finally hit the point where I needed insurance because it wasn't offered to us. And my hand was killing me all of the time. And I was basically a doormat, and I'm like, no, I'm tired of this. And I was getting tired of some of the coworkers, not gonna lie. I was getting tired of chasing down coworkers because they weren't where they were supposed to be, and then I'm getting in trouble. I'm like, why are you yelling at me? I'm where I'm supposed to be. When I looked up 5 minutes ago, X person was up here. They did not tell me they were walking away. If they did, I did not hear them. Like, why are you mad at me? I'm running the front end. I'm trying to run the front end. I'm being pulled in 15 different directions while trying to help my own customer line. Because it wasn't just keeping an eye on the other cashiers and making sure they were okay and that they didn't need anything like change or had a problem. No, no, no. We had to do that. Keep the change drawer full. And if we were getting low on something, we had to make a change order. We had to stop what we were doing right then and there, balance out the change drawer real quick and figure out how much we needed on stuff. Because if I told them I needed that I was out of quarters and then like 5 minutes later I ran out of ones, like they were mad because they had to go back to the office and to the safe and get us change. And I'm like, what do y'all want from me? People don't tell me. How am I supposed to know? And we had to answer the phone. And we had to do an hourly sales report, like right on the hour. I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you see how busy it is up here? Is this like a phantom of my imagination? You do see the lines, right? You don't want long lines. And I've got people that are rolling their eyes at me and because I'm not moving fast enough. So I've got kids, I've got a page up here to go to lunch. I'm trying to watch who's on register, who can go back to their department. Trying to send returns back when I have the chance so that we're not falling. I had a leaning tower of returns just crash behind our customer service registers and it blocked the door and somebody needed change and I'm like, the store manager and the assistant manager were deep in conversation and I couldn't get their attention even though they were standing right there. So I just hopped to the counter and they're like looking at me funny. I'm like, you guys heard the crash. I mean, somebody could have come over and helped us. You guys chose not to. It's fine. I got it. Nobody was on the register that was directly behind me anyway at the time. Like, we're good, I guess. We're good. So I'm gonna use this orange peach orange color. We're gonna see how this looks kind of laid in here on top of the yellow. I mean, it's not terribly visible, but maybe if we get a little bit more kind of laid in here. Like, I don't want to entirely lose all of the yellow. sure that I don't put it in here too hard, although I guess if we lose a little too much, I can try to add some of it back in. I'll probably do that. I'll push the peachy orange color back a bit too. So I guess we can play around with it, see how we do here. I mean, it's kind of faint, but you can kind of see it if I lift it up closer. But this is another one of those colors that looks really pale, almost white, until you start getting it layered up on itself. And this doesn't have to look completely identical to the reference photo. We don't really want it to be 100% identical, but I am shooting for fairly similar, but that does mean I'm gonna have to adjust my colors a little bit as we are moving forward, because I don't have like exact color matches to what we've got there. I was thinking maybe gray here, but I might go with purple. I think I talked about the last time we worked on this piece where I was thinking about changing it to purple. Whoop. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to pull my chair in. I have a flamingo mat on the other side of my desk and it's so dirty. It's got all kinds of stains on it and stuff. And that side might end up becoming the art side. I would like to have both monitors next to each other. And I suppose if we're doing art on the long side, we might be able to do that. Potentially. I'll have to see. Right now, the one monitor is zip tied to the shelf that it's sitting on to keep the cats from knocking it off. Alright, I want a little bit more of our color of the moment here. Now I closed the bag on the yellow color, but that doesn't mean that we can't come back and add a little bit more. We've certainly done that before. Like, I haven't put it away or anything. It's right next to me. All right. I'm not sure if I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. Like, I kind of want to, sort of. You can kind of see the other color. I don't want to kill all of the yellow though. But I also need some of this blue to hang out here too. Let me grab a little bit more of this. And again, this is just add color till you're happy with it, essentially. Just make sure you don't like overdo it. Because it is possible to overdo. But we can make some adjustments if we need to. I have a slightly larger version of the photo that I'm looking at. Oh, and this reference photo we pulled from Unsplash. We've used it for an oil painting that we did. But I was like, you know what? I really do like this one. So I would like to try to needle felt it. Why not? Right? Like, who cares? Let's do it. Probably lose a lot of that piece that I just put down under the cloud that's gonna come in. I think I might add a little bit more yellow. Back into this just a little bit. Like, we don't need to go super crazy. Sorry, I'm trying to feel if it feels loose. If it looks like anything's moving around. Okay. And I feel like you can't really see much of the peach that we put in, but it looks more yellow than peach to me. Just kind of like meh. But at the same time, the photo's a bit more yellowy than anything. I wish I could keep my ticket monitor from jiggling back and forth. That's kind of annoying. Alright, let me pull out some of these bits in here that didn't quite, like, some yarn will brush out better than others. And that's another reason why you want to work with shorter lengths of yarn. And you want to start at the tip of the strand and work your way up. Because it can get knotted and not brush out all the way. I'm just trying to salvage some of it. Because this sheet was one of the smaller balls that I had. Like, it's still usable. Just depends on how much it's going to annoy you for what you're doing with it. Like, if it's gonna be something that's gonna stand out if it's a little bit stringier, you might want to swap it a little bit. Alright, I'm just grabbing a little bit more of our banana cream. Excuse me. I was looking at Michaels's classic loops and threads because they had a sale online on the website, and I was like sitting there doing the math. I was like, wow, I could get one of every single color and it would only cost me like $138 before tax. That's not bad. My husband's like, uh-huh, only 138. I'm like, yeah. He's like, now you need to get $138. I was like, yeah, I know, that's the downside. That's the problem. But I don't really need any yarn right now. I mean, there's colors I would like to have. Of course. I would always love to add to my color collection, for sure. I'm always gonna want to do that. Didn't really seem like it did too much there. Alright, so we're gonna get some yellow here. Some more yellow. I know it looks like it's white. It is yellow. Promise. See, when it's all stacked up on itself, it is yellow. But, we will tack that in. Okay, so let's get And this worked in here. That's probably all of the yellow I'm gonna bust into here in this section. Okay. What did my mom need?
Oh, she just needed help with something.
That's not so bad. Okay, so we've got that corner kind of worked in. I'm gonna add this bit of fluff back to its bag. Alright, now down in here, like along this edge, there's a slight bit of like a pinkish hue in there. And I'm not sure what color I want to put in there. We could go with a couple different shades. Piece of plastic came off of that one bag, so I want to make sure that gets in the trash. Okay. So, I mean, they're a little bit darker in the pink here. I'm just not sure. So like it's not like a real deep pink in there. I think I want to go with the dark coral. For this section. I don't need any on the top. Oh, I don't want to upend that. Alright, so I don't need like a whole lot of this at the moment. Alright, so this is gonna kind of alright, so this is the bottom of my mountains. I think that was like the highest part of like the mountainy area that I wanted to do. So, yes, I'm turning it sideways again. Sorry. I need to see what I'm doing. How dare I? It's okay. We're gonna flip it back around the right way soon enough. Now, some of this is gonna get lost under the purple that's gonna come in. Not a big deal. I know why I'm putting it there. Because it's like just kind of there. So I'm okay if it's covering this section of the yellow. Hold on. Like hit a section of stuff that I have in my ears that I'm listening to that I'm like, oh no. Alright. Check one more thing here. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Alright. Fun little blippy out there. Where is that? Just southwest of Stillwell. We're at 85, but it feels like 94, and they're like, oh, low humidity. I'm like, excuse me? Right. You and I have very different definitions of low humidity there. Windows 11. So we have not had an official heat advisory yet this summer, which seems kind of odd. Because there was a couple days where we were in the feels like of triples, but I guess it wasn't quite triple enough. As in triple digits. I mean, this is a little dark, and maybe I would have been better off with like cosmetic pink. But it is our project here. And we can kind of do the colors that we want to do, right? So doesn't have to be the exact same colors that we see in the photo. We can give it a little bit of a color personality shift if we so see fit. I mean, heck, if we had, oh, this is like the same color as our mat. If we had had enough shades of like gray, we could have done it all in grayscale. But I don't think I have quite enough shades of gray to attempt to do that. Like, I want this in here, but I also need to make sure that I'm coming off of the yellow edge enough. Because we're gonna have some of the cloud purple coming down into that. I think I want a little bit more in there. Because it is a little thin in that spot. Like, as we were stabbing in, I could see some of the gray trying to, like, bleed up through it just a bit. Was that Snuffles?
Yes.
Good lord. That dog's got a snore on her. Alright. I'm excited to get back into Planet Zoo tomorrow. She sounds like she's doing like a motorbike impression. My goodness. Maybe she needs some Benadryl. Now I know it doesn't run like the whole length of it up. So I might kind of pause the pink around in there, or at least the shade of pink. I might add a little bit more down into here though. I'm okay if I have to layer that a little bit. You okay?
Uh-huh.
I wasn't sure if that was a...
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Nope, use code there. Okay. So I want this to kind of be the top edge of our mountain. Just kind of want to get that worked in there. I know it's going to be purple on top of it, but there's going to be some sections of pink kind of poking through. Now for the boat, I still have some black embroidery thread. So I'm thinking for that, maybe we do the lines for like the sails and stuff with the embroidery thread. It might be a little bit easier. We'll have to see how I'm feeling as we get there. But okay. So I do want this a little bit split in here. Like I want some of that varsity gold color that we put in to be visible in spots. Peel that up. All right, so let's evaluate where we're at. Okay, so this is going to be like the top of our mountain peak. I think I want a little bit more of this in here, personally. I might need to make that a little bit thicker. Like right in here. Okay. Just gonna turn that a little bit. Just so I can see what all we've got happening. All right. starting to come together a little bit here. Kind of really liking that we did up there. There. We'll get this mushed into here. Alright, so I think I might need to bring that over just a little bit further. Just based off of where that looks like it's at in the image. Although I am now realizing that a lot of this orange that we put in is going to get covered up with mountains, so now I feel silly that I spent so much time making sure that was fully filled in. I forgot about the mountain sitting between these two. My fault entirely, but it also dips down a little bit lower in here. This is just the highest point I want there to be. So I tacked that in that spot, and then on the surface, I scraped it, not dug in. If you stab in and pull, you're gonna snap your needle. It has to be like surface scrapes, like you're raking the leaves. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could take that pink like all the way up. I don't know if I really need to though. So I'm probably not. Okay. Let me close that bag for right now. I think I'm gonna need some more of it though. Eventually. Okay, so we're just gonna take a moment and evaluate where we're at. Now, we've got 2 sets of mountain ranges. It's hard to see in the photo. There's actually some more sailboats. They're really hard to see over here. I didn't see them when I did the first painting, to be perfectly honest. I didn't see them till I was getting ready to do this. I'm like, we're just not going to do those because those are almost not visible. But in the mountain ranges here, there's a lighter purple, there's a lighter dark purple, and then there's like a super dark purple. So there's actually almost 3 shades of purple. Well, That might just be the light playing on it there. So this one over here. Like these guys feel like there's almost like a pinkish hue on them with the way this light is hitting them. And then there's like a really dark purple in here. So we need to look at our purple shades here and see what we have to work with. So we've got jam, and we've got dark aubergine, and they are different shades. So those could potentially be our mountains. So if we're going to use those for the mountains, we need to figure out what we're going to do for the clouds here, because I don't have that shade of blue. I just don't. And I really want to use the shade of blue that I do have that's close to it for the water. So we either have to go gray or purple, and I kind of want to Zuzu's looking at you, wagging his tail, trying to get your attention. I could see his tail wiggling out of the corner of my eye. Alright, so don't have a lot of this left. I mean, I can look more of it, I just have to find it. So, we've got these three potential colors. And I'm not sure who I want. No, he might want to go pee. It's 1 o'clock.
You need to go pee pee?
There's a cow in your bed. So these two are kind of close to each other. But this one I feel like maybe more for the clouds down below, maybe, that are in like the yellow section. I think we're gonna make this like our dark blue. Our dark gray blue, I think, is what we're gonna go with. I am gonna, what is this? Dusty lilac. I'm gonna have to fluff some more of this. Very soon. Because this might take all of the dusty lilac I have available. Alright, so I am gonna shape this. I kind of don't want this to be too wispy, because we'll be here all living day trying to build that up. Alright, so let's start to tap this in. And I'm okay with it just kind of like hanging out in the dark gray section to get started with. just gonna kind of get this bumped into here. I got Snuffs. Did he pee or was he?
He tried to sandbag.
Buddy. Alright. Get a little bit more water. Like, I'd rather like be in the middle of the gray and then expand over the two where they're gonna meet. Take my time with that. See where I need to go a little bit more wild and crazy than I need to. So this is gonna go all the way. Across essentially. Alright, so let's peel that guy up. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. Alright. So actually I might start filling in some of this. Up here. Like, we don't really need to see the bottom edge of that right now, right? Sorry, got distracted. It happens sometimes. And again, this is just going to be one of those things where you're just going to kind of add the fluff until you're happy with placement and coverage and all that. Alright, so this kind of is gonna hang out up around in here. We're gonna lose a little bit of that sky that we worked on putting in there, but that's okay.